If they think I'm Gary Malik again, they're out of their mind. Oh boy, Relic amplifiers the gear system and our next update, aka how to make more money before the game dies. So you have a game that's 3 years in, you have a core base of high spending players who are at the end game with nothing to do. What do? You make more things to spend money on. God forbid we want to take some of the money we've spent and put it into new content to do with the characters. I'm sorry, no, we need more money for that to happen. You know, it'd be really awesome for long-term great content for the game? A new raid or a ship raid. You know what would not make a lot of sense financially if the game's going to die in 3 years? Spending a year to develop a raid. So why am I actually annoyed? What is it, okay? And let's walk through this update and talk about where the game's going. So basically they say in the beginning here, there's relic amplifiers are coming. They're closing off additional gear tiers. Basically they're saying, hey, no gear 14 or no gear 13 plus pieces are coming. This is it for the foreseeable future. AKA, it's really easy to see the future when the end is near. So the next time you enter the character collection view on a Gear 13 character, it's going to look like this. Basically, it says, hey, it's fully maxed out. They took some Visual Basic first year intern, threw together this screen here, and shing bada bing, there it goes. And now we have this bright new thing on the bottom left that you basically put gear into and makes them stronger. So let's continue and walk through this. Example, the new character screen you're going to see once you reach Gear 13. So you will see this design after you complete the character. Okay, so we're moving right along here. We believe this is a big change for the game, for us, for you, the players. We've been considering this change for some time. The gear progression system has been one of the biggest parts of perfecting your collection of characters in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, and a very regular point of vocal frustration. Yes. Keep in mind, addressing the problem doesn't mean they're actually addressing the problem. It just says they're aware of the problem. Here has given us a lot of flexibility across the releases, mainly the change and rebalance of power and utility of large number of characters, but also to adapt to the game changing, new raids, the territory battles, etc. While the current gear system has offered tremendous flexibility, it's starting to show its age as markers of status, power, aspirations, and Galaxy of Heroes. In freshening up the game's progression system, we hope we can take a couple of concept and routine familiar to long-term players and put a new spin on them. We also have some long-term plans on how to make this system even more exciting to players and more sustainable for us to update on and build on. That we'll talk about more about later this year. So basically they're saying, the way they're kind of spinning this is that, okay, this is kind of a capstone. We're finishing it off. We're eagling it out. You know, we know gear's frustrating, guys. We're closing it out. But what's actually happening is they're saying they understand gear is a point of frustration for us, but we got Gear 12 Plus. We got Gear 13 finishers recently, and now we're getting another additional gear piece on top of that as well. So while they say they understand the frustration stuff, we actually have to look at the actions. The actions that are happening is the frustration is continuing to be brought into the game. Despite the vocal frustration, they say they have a nose amount of vocal frustration, they're still bringing more gear-related things into the game. And then they kind of finish up here. Finally, we're really excited to this opportunity to make iconic items from Star Wars feel much more integrated into your character progression. As mentioned in the road ahead, the next progression system, we're DNA their unique items. Our goal is to process reaching Gear 13, unlocking this item to feel like a much more satisfying way to spend your time, perfecting your characters, and just adding another generic piece of gear, etc. And then they have this thing here that looks like, oh, you get the, the finisher piece or whatever on top of it. So relic amplifiers, honestly, just to me, feel like another Gear 13 finisher, only they just skipped all the other 5 pieces. It's okay, Gear 12 to 13 finisher, that made us a lot of money. Let's do Gear 13 to Gear 14 finisher, but let's just do one item. What it really comes down to is we have an innate problem with the concept of this game, okay? It's the community's idea of the concept of this game is you collect these cool characters, then you take them and you use them places, and you do things with your cool characters. And that's why we play this game. The development concept of this game is we love the experience and the thrill of collecting and perfecting our characters. That has never been anyone's favorite thing in this game. Okay, everyone likes to take the cool characters once they are perfected, that we hate doing, by the way. We then take them into the raids or something, the great content that you make us, that we love. That's the reason we play the game. And then we do something with those characters. What we don't want to do is perfect our character and then perfect them again for Gear 13 and then perfect them again with whatever this piece is. Honest to God, we don't. And the thing is, they know we don't. They said there's vocal frustration. They've heard it. They're aware. Even EA themselves have said frustration-based spending drives the game. This is the way it works. The game understands this. The producers understand this. This is a success for them. But the real problem is for the community, this is not a success. For the community, this is another moving of the goalpost. We don't see new iconic items. We see another thing we have to do before the character is done. Before Thrawn is done and we can actually use him, there's another thing to do. God forbid I tell somebody what I do for a living and suggest they play this game and they pick it up and find out, okay, it's 6 months or $5,000 later, I'll get to play with one of my favorite characters. Obviously, I'm exaggerating the price, but you get my point here. It's frustrating as a massive spender on my side of things to be like, what more do you want from me? I've put as much money into this game. I'm not putting more money into this game, Capital Games. I'm taking the transaction out of it. It's just Darth Micro. Not only that, but the failure, in my opinion, of the Star Wars game is actively affecting me outside of the game. Now I'm not even making as much content on Star Wars anymore because I'm having a hard time even being excited by the game. I pick up the game and now I see it as, well, crap. Now I have to get Gear 13 on Jedi Knight Revan. Now I have to get Gear 13 as General Grievous. Now I have to do that. That's what I see it as. I don't see it as, I can't wait to try out my characters in some new content, because there is no new content. There's a reskinned harder territory battles with resistance put up the ass so that we can't land anything. And then besides that, we have Grand Arena Championships, which get canceled, more often than soccer practice when you're in high school. What else is there to do in this game? You think this character in the other game I'm playing right here has better IP than Star Wars? You think I would rather play with this character? No, I want Darth Vader. Give me a better game. Here's the thing. I haven't even checked the homepage yet today. Let's find out what I could do today if I wanted to. Contraband cargo. Here we go, guys. $4,000 account. Go. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. This game is so good. This game is so good. Nice. I got 5 shards for shard shop currency and 3 omegas. Looks like I had 472 of those already. I sure hope I can throw those into the new gear piece. There's no way it's going to be Cryovertech or something. I realized that the crystals you get from the arena does not even pay out enough at this point to save up to get the next meta so that you can get first place again. It mathematically no longer is worth it. I'm just going to farm Jawas. And it's supposed to be, what, like 300,000 crystals or something are given away a day from Squad Arena? But yet we're all struggling. At this point, the challenges are starting to feel like I'm just winding up at the food bank. There's like no other way to get gear unless I just want to pull out my wallet. And speaking of spending money, I'm done. That's it. No longer spending money on the game. Because until I get proven wrong, all I'm seeing is that the company currently is taking the game and going as far with it as they can and making as much money as they can until the end. That's my current belief. That's how I see it. I try to have like cautious optimism is what I say when it comes to updates. You see me on some collabs and stuff, I'll be like, well, I'm going to try to be cautious, optimistic. I said that when I was talking about this with Cubs and all that, but I've just changed my opinion. I'm having such a hard time to want to defend the actions in this game. I don't see this as new content. I don't. I see it as you're trying to get more money out of us. Prove me wrong. Because what's the deal with Malak event? Second time around, you had to give people 1 day warning. I get it. It's a mythical event, all that. But it's the second time around. You couldn't give people 3 days, 4 days, a week. We give them 1 day again. At this point in the game, let's say I'm right, okay? And let's say you are price gouging, paywall increasing, all that. At the end, just to get as much money as you can at the end, okay? I get it. But you have to screw everybody over on everything. Even Malak can't get a day extra. It has to be a 1 day notice. I have Malak already. I don't feel cheated out of it if you give them a week to figure it out. I mean, do you have to make money on that too? At a minimum, guys, you're more than welcome to disagree with me, but this is my heart on a sleeve. This is how I feel about it. I just sat down and I was like, you know what? This is how I feel about the game. I want to talk about it, and I want Star Wars to get better because it's like this is the game. This is the game for me. This always has been the game. But it's just the way it's going. I'm having a hard time. Like CG, please. You know, that's it. CG, please.